Welcome to the famous area of Osaka's Dotonbori. I enjoy this area so much that I believe I've used more than 30 clips of this area in previous videos before even making this one. Also, I don't believe I've ever hosted a trip to Japan without coming here. To the very best of my knowledge, every tour I have ever provided has visited this area. But before we even start to review this spot, let's define where it's located. Here is a map of Japan. This is where Tokyo is located. Here's Kyoto. And near Kyoto, you find the city of Osaka. Now, this is the city of Osaka. Do you see this little area here? It's named Namba. And Namba is where you will find Dotonbori. Simply explained, Dotonbori is a section of downtown Osaka along the Dotonbori-gawa Canal. The entire area is filled with an unbelievable number of restaurants and amusement facilities and is cherished by the citizens of Osaka, tourists, and everyone else who appreciates food, fun, and nightlife. Now, this is something you need to understand. To make use of every conceivable space, the Japanese utilize an entire building for numerous purposes, and that is exactly how Dotonbori is designed. Once again, forgive my crude artistry, okay, but this should do the job for this example. Let's pretend that this is a typical building downtown in the United States. You'll usually have something called an anchor tenant on the ground floor. Perhaps a restaurant, a car dealership, a bank, a clothing store. Then, after the first floor, they lease spaces for attorneys, CPAs, maybe doctors, insurance companies. You get the idea. In Japan, things tend to be different. Many buildings have these signs that designate what's on each floor. And while you might have a main tenant at the bottom, the second floor might be a restaurant. The third floor is a karaoke bar. The fourth floor might be a cat cafe. The fifth floor is an artist gallery, and so forth. So in one building, you may have a wide variety of things to do, see, and eat, just in one building. Now imagine having 3 or 4 of these buildings directly next to each other, within 100 feet. You'd have 4 restaurants, 3 or 4 bars, 6 places to hang out with your friends, things to buy for yourself and your loved ones back home, right? A lot of choices in just 3 buildings. Well, this is Dotonbori. Here is just a snapshot of one main street. Imagine the options available. It's hard to wrap your mind around it. Even on the streets, you'll pass vendors selling lots of different forms of delicious street food, including an Osaka favorite, takoyaki, chopped octopus encased in a round, bite-sized breaded portion. So even the options on the street itself will be enough to fill your stomach continually. But there's one spot that everyone wants to see, this enormous mechanical crab. While there are a few of these in Dotonbori, this one is famous. Everyone comes around to snap a picture or a selfie with this motorized crustacean in the background. It's considered a hallmark for this area. You'll also notice that Dotonbori pushes the boundaries of common expectations. In other words, the businesses in this area do anything and everything to get your attention. The advertisements, the lights, the statuary is enough to motivate you to take hundreds of photos and remember them. Also, I recommend visiting Dotonbori at night. Quite honestly, without the amazing nightlife and the flickering advertisements, it's just not the same during the day. This area really comes to life when the sun goes down. It's not the same during the daytime. Everyone walks the streets, satisfies their appetites, and absorbs the unforgettable ambiance of this entire area. So if you find yourself in the land of Japan and hope to visit a spot that's not only well known by every Japanese citizen, but also an undeniable point of interest to tourists as well, I recommend visiting Dotonbori, even if you only have a few hours to spare in your schedule.
Osaka's Dotonbori is pretty amazing. You have to see it for yourself. Listen, if you have any questions about Dotonbori, we provided some links and some images and even some videos underneath this video. And then as always, if you have any other questions, well then there's the contact us button. You can contact me or my staff directly. For JourneyToJapan.com, in Osaka's Dotonbori, I'm Carl Rosa. Thanks for watching.